One royal bow melted hearts. Another royal laugh broke the internet. In today's commentary, what was meant to be a tender royal moment turned into a firestorm of controversy. At a quiet palace ceremony honoring King Charles III, Prince George, the young heir to the throne, made a gesture so simple, so symbolic, that it sent the media into overdrive. He bowed, not forced, not rehearsed, but with the natural grace of a child raised in tradition. And just a few steps away, Archie and Lilibet, the children of Harry and Meghan, were reportedly seen giggling and whispering to one another. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from, because what happened next has divided royal watchers across continents. Prince George, son of Prince William and Kate Middleton, represents the next generation of royal composure, raised within the discipline of monarchy. King Charles III, still navigating his reign, has worked hard to preserve dignity amid family turbulence. And then, across the ocean, Harry and Meghan's children, raised far from royal protocol, became unexpected lightning rods in a viral debate they never asked for. The moment began innocently enough. Cameras flashed as King Charles arrived for a formal greeting. Prince George stepped forward, head bowed slightly, his voice soft. "Good afternoon, Your Majesty." The king smiled, visibly proud. But as lenses panned across the courtyard, eagle-eyed viewers caught Archie and Lilibet, standing with their mother, Meghan, laughing playfully at the display. Whether it was harmless humor or something deeper, the internet made up its mind fast. On X, formerly Twitter, one viral post read, "One child shows respect, the others show rebellion. Like father, like children." But you haven't heard the craziest part, because what happened after the clip aired sent social media into full meltdown. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag RoyalRespect and hashtag LaughingAtTheCrown began trending. Some fans offended the Sussex children. They're just kids, not courtiers. Others argued the moment symbolized something much deeper, a cultural divide inside one family. Royal analysts on YouTube called it a perfect metaphor for the monarchy's identity crisis. British tabloids ran headlines like, "George bows, Archie laughs, the future of the monarchy on display." The comparisons turned brutal. Commentators unearthed old footage of Meghan curtsying awkwardly in Netflix's Harry and Meghan documentary, pairing it with memes of Lilibet's laughter. Suddenly, it wasn't about children, it was about legacy. It was like watching Downton Abbey crash into Keeping Up with the Kardashians. One side defined by ceremony, the other by individuality, both trapped in the same family story. Then came the twist. Royal correspondents revealed that George's bow hadn't been staged for media. It was a private family moment captured by a photographer's long lens. The Sussex family's laughter? Also private, but leaked by a guest who uploaded it to social media without consent. By then, the narrative had already escaped reality. The internet wasn't debating truth. It was scoring morality points. Across comment sections, you could feel the emotion. Some praised George for embodying respect and dignity. Others accused the press of pitting children against each other. But the loudest voices belonged to those who saw symbolism in every frame. One child reflects a kingdom's legacy. The others reflect a rebellion that tore it apart. Within 24 hours, the clip amassed 68 million views and more than 1.5 million comments. Even celebrities chimed in, from royal defenders to outspoken critics of the crown. Numbers don't lie. Hashtag Prince George trended #1 worldwide. Hashtag Archie and Lilibet saw 900K plus posts in under 48 hours. BBC and Sky News both covered the viral debate in primetime segments. But then came the bombshell. A leaked quote reportedly from a palace aide revealing King Charles's private reaction to the viral footage. And his words shocked even royal insiders. Leaked palace whispers reveal King Charles's reaction, and it wasn't what anyone expected. As the debate raged online, palace insiders tried to keep silent, but one anonymous aide allegedly broke rank. According to a report from the Times, the king's private reaction was brief, thoughtful, and surprisingly kind. "They are all my grandchildren," he reportedly said. "Each will learn respect in their own time." Those 12 quiet words stopped the noise for about 5 minutes, before social media twisted them into 1,000 different meanings. Was it forgiveness? Was it shade? Commentators filled the gap with interpretation. King Charles took the moral high ground. He just schooled Harry and Meghan without mentioning their names. Within hours, YouTubers, TikTok creators, and royal podcasters dissected every micro-gesture from the footage. One channel claimed, George's bow was the future of the monarchy embodied. Another countered, stop using children as symbolism. Even parenting experts joined in, arguing over whether formality and reverence should still be taught in modern households. One viral poll found 71% of respondents believed royal manners are part of national identity, while 29% called them outdated performance. Then came the pushback from Harry and Meghan supporters. A popular influencer posted, Archie and Lilibet are being raised to laugh, not kneel. That's not disrespect, that's freedom. It was an ideological earthquake. Respect versus independence, tradition versus authenticity. It felt like the crown had collided with modern family. Two value systems, both royal by blood but worlds apart in spirit. One bows before hierarchy. The other believes respect should never require posture. Then a palace photographer quietly confirmed that Meghan had later explained the children's laughter. They were giggling at the echo in the hall, not at George. But by that point, the clarification barely mattered. The footage had already been clipped, captioned, and memed into a global morality tale. Hashtag royal manners, hashtag the bow, and hashtag parenting goals dominated feeds for a week straight. Even late-night hosts joked, when the royal kids go viral, you know the adults lost control of the storyline. Behind the headlines, however, something tender emerged. A day later, cameras captured King Charles greeting all his grandchildren at a private garden event. He rested a hand gently on Archie's shoulder, smiled at Lilibet, and whispered something that made George beam. For a moment, the noise stopped again. The children weren't memes. They were family. And even critics of the monarchy paused to admit, this was the image that should have gone viral. By the numbers, 48 hours later, hashtag RoyalRespect clips surpassed 120 million views. Hashtag George Vow Challenge, yes, people reenacted it, gained 50 million TikTok loops. Engagement across royal discussion channels spiked 300%, proving once again that the monarchy remains social media's favorite soap opera. Was this about etiquette or ego? And if laughter can cause outrage in a palace courtyard, what does that say about how much power we've given perception itself? Days later, the palace issued a soft reminder. Children should always be given grace. Their laughter is not rebellion, but life. Even that statement sparked think pieces. But the tone had shifted. The public started realizing the real story wasn't about George versus Archie. It was about how adults project legacy onto innocence. Still, online forums continued drawing lines. George is learning duty. Archie is learning freedom. Two philosophies, both born royal, both destined to define the monarchy's future image. And somewhere in the middle of that noise, King Charles reportedly said during a private dinner, respect taught by love lasts longer than respect demanded by fear. Titles can shape posture, but it's upbringing that shapes character. And the internet just crowned its own judges. If you thought that was wild, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Should royal children still bow? Or is laughter the new symbol of freedom? And wait till you see what's hidden in the off-camera footage. One royal aide's whisper about who told George to bow first will change how you see the entire moment.